And we're live for another Brewnomics podcast here at the Homestead. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all again. We've got Fremont today. They're doing the tap takeover. So we've got 7 different Fremont beers on tap, I think. And we've got 5 of them here with us tonight to enjoy with all of you. And everybody there at home, too. So,
well, 5 from the taps.
5 from the taps. That's exactly. We've got plenty more. If you're online, you can see it over there. If you're back there on the patio, you can kind of peek over the equipment and check out all of the wonderful, wonderful goodness that Brian brought to us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest today. It is Brian.
Hello.
Brian is an avid Fremont fan. In fact, some people might say that he's a Fremont fanatic.
Maybe not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe for Idaho.
You're part of the club.
Yeah.
Speaking of that club, tell me a little bit more about this. We kind of came across, we were trying to schedule out people who we were going to have on the cast today and really see, what we can do with Fremont, because they're a pretty special beer out of Washington. And I wanted to say, I wanted somebody who had a lot of experience and knew exactly what they were talking about when it came to the Fremont beers. So that way we can hopefully educate you, hopefully you're having a good time. And for all the people that are there back home, you get to learn something too. So tell us a little about yourself, Brian. Tell us about, what you do and why you're such a big fan.
Well, first off, I think I had to throw out a disclaimer that I don't actually work for Fremont.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not affiliated with them. I just love their beers, and I love their philosophy on how they treat people, how they treat the environment, how they craft things. Their mottos are pretty good about that.
Well, they're almost an entirely energy footprint free based brewery. If my memory, a lot of recycling, but not only. Me being from, the Seattle Puyallup area, Fremont is not too far away. I think it's only, Seattle traffic, it might be a little further, but it's about a 20-minute drive, I would say, right, from Seattle?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So I really appreciate everything that they're doing.
At 2 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. That's exactly right. As the crow flies, maybe 10 minutes, but not
jetpack.
Yeah, jetpack.
No, they just won an award here. I believe it was last year. They partnered with an energy startup in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah, they're recycling some of their byproducts of the brewing process.
Okay.
And they're I'd have to go back and look it up, but
I think I did hear about this that it's with a like a local grain feed store kind of a place that does the farming, right?
So all of the mash doing that, and that company moved to Montana.
Oh, okay.
To work more on their energy side of things, and they still do recycle all the grain and do that, but they've now got a biomass energy plant there at the brewery. I believe that's, if I remember right, that's what it is.
That's incredible.
And so they're striving to be net zero, if not, net negative,
as close as they possibly can.
Exactly.
Diesel, what is it? Diesel cars that run on
biodiesel.
Yeah, biodiesel, like the French fry sauce, right?
Right.
Yeah, smells like French fries as they go by.
Chinese food or
yeah, walk.
Yeah, no, and the founders have this great philosophy about giving back to the community, like you mentioned, and giving back to their employees, and it's about people.
Okay.
It's all about the people for them, which is wonderful. When you go there, especially
have you been before
to the brewery?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was
several times.
All right.
The owners are just like down to earth, right next to you, talking to you, and they're the third largest brewery in Washington State by sales. They have the number one beer by sales volume in Washington State also. So unfortunately, we're not tasting that one tonight.
Well, yeah, it sounds like and looks like you've got a bunch of surprises for us later on. Not just our tap takeover stuff. So I really do pity my co-hosts who couldn't be here, Vic and Jerry, and Paula is on his way, so he might show up a little bit. He had something kind of come up last minute, and he's just running a little bit late. But he assured me that he would be here and is on his way. We do have a mic set up for him, so if he misses out, he's going to be very, very sad, I feel like. In the background, I'm gonna give a big quick shout out to our home brewer from. Uh, oh, I can't remember your home brewing name. What is it? That's right, Social Lubricant. Sean Lambert is kind of hanging out in the background with us. He's not feeling so great, so he's not going to partake with us tonight. We also feel really bad for him because he's missing out too. But without further ado, I think we've given the servers enough time to hopefully get everybody here at the Homestead their first beer, whether they're joining with us or not. So I want to try the Fremont Summer Ale. Brian, do you know anything about this beer? Like, I know that it's one of their seasonals that you can only find it basically in summer. Right?
It's one of their summer. It's an American pale ale. It's about 5.2%. Definitely sessionable. You can crush this thing on a river, on a lake, all day long. Um, it's made with a couple of different malts.
That malt base is
or
pretty.
sorry, no, it's a smash beer, is what it is. It's got two row pale and Amarillo hops. That's all that's in it,
Okay.
and water. So
Yeah, it you can definitely taste that malt forward flavor on a pale ale, which is a kind of a unique blend. Like you said, very crushable, very drinkable. It's pretty good. We do not have any reps on today, so we typically rate beer on the untapped scale on our normal show. Because we don't have any reps, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rate this thing, which will be a little bit fun. We don't normally get to rate stuff on the tap takeovers because usually there's a representative, and that would be very poor taste to do that in front of them. But we get to break the rules tonight. So, yeah. What do you think about this beer? What would you give it on a out of 5 on the untapped rating?
it's got some lingering bitterness to it, and I think that's probably the Amarillo. If I would have to go with.
I can pick that up.
I'd say it's probably a good 3.8, 4, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
For an everyday kind of drinker, something that you can
Like you
just
were saying,
have
something
a
on the
half rack.
lazy river, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, on the Untapped, this was actually previously known as the Solstice Ale. It's a tangerine flower in a glass, endless days distilled into nectar of barley and hops. One grain, one hop, simplicity. It pulls up at a 3.6 average rating with coming from 21,588 ratings total. So 3.6 is pretty respectable and at only 445 IBUs and a 5.2% ABV.
Mhm.
I am kind of right with you. I'm going to give this a
I think it's better than a 3.6, but that's average.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because it's a good pale ale. It is. It's sessionable for me. Or I shouldn't say more. I should say less malty body in my pails. Great summer beer. You don't see many summer beers that are specifically a pale ale. You see a lot of summer beers that are lagers or whatever, and that's the flagship summer beers, like their lager or just your generic ale, and or even like
The pills,
yeah,
a lot of pills,
a lot of
floating
pills
around.
on the summer, a lot of sessions, kind of a thing. You know,
The newest thing I think is people are trying to do is session their IPAs down. They want to take a hazy and make it a 4.8,
yeah.
and try to,
What's up with that?
you know,
I don't know. Everyone in Idaho, as far as I've been know, always likes high ABV beers. It's kind of crazy. Like most people don't even consider it a beer unless it's 5% or higher. So, but I mean, you get good flavor sometimes with those 4 pointers. And there's some really good sour beers too that are
Mhm.
only 4%, and they will. Sour beers are brewed a little different. They watch out for those, everybody, because those things can mess you up.
I wasn't into sour beers until I went to a little get together in San Francisco last year, and it just opened my eyes. Now I just like
Now you look for them.
I look for them now. Yeah,
You
it's
search 'em?
crazy. It's like a switch was flipped. I got a shout out to my crew that's from all over the country actually, but it was hosted down in San Francisco. It was and if any of my buddies are listening right now, they know who they are, but
Okay.
they can
They,
take
they,
the credit for me becoming a sour fanatic.
they've got some stories of your pucker.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they've got more than that. Yeah.
All right. So Brian, yeah, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, what do you do normally? Like, what's your day-to-day life?
So I'm in medicine and work at one of the hospitals here.
Okay.
Locally,
Largest industry in Idaho, so
yeah.
no big surprise.
And so one of the reasons why I was a little bit late here, I got a little getting out of the hospital a little late, but I'm a budding home brewer as well. Sean's helped me out
Nice.
quite a bit with that so far, and we're I'm breaking my chops there, trying to get better at it. And I love beer. I'm a better winemaker than I'm a beer maker.
Interesting.
So
Okay, what's your favorite wine to brew?
um, I love Pinot Noir.
It's my wife's favorite beer.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife's favorite
Yeah.
wine.
Um,
It's been a long day.
yeah. Well, we need to get into another beer, then it'll be
Yeah.
a shorter day. But
Exactly.
I like some real crisp whites in the summer.
Okay.
Lightly oaked Chardonnay, like Alsatian style of Chardonnays, Albarinos, things like that. So,
Okay. Maybe not quite as bubbly as like a champagne, but
No,
but
no.
just as light.
Real crisp.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bubbly, but crisp.
Okay. Cool. I have a friend that makes a really good apple mead.
Oh,
I think you might like to try it.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to introduce you. He's also a home brewer,
Okay.
so
Cool.
yeah, small little circles that we all kind of travel around in here
Right.
that I'm slowly being introduced to. Thank you again, Sean. Big shout out. Let's get into our next beer. We've got the Head Full of Dynamite version 12. Now, I personally I've had this beer before. I have